Yo, we need to take a moment here to discuss Azure Promilia. I'm a little bit concerned after some information surfaced recently concerning not only global, but also the console ports of the game. Azure Promilia is a gacha game that we're all eagerly anticipating, but as of right now, February 14th, 2026, Valentine's Day, by the way, happy Valentine's Day, there is nothing concrete about this game. No beta test release date, no global release date, no global port of the game. Yeah, we know that the game is coming globally, but at the same time, we don't know if the game's launching simultaneously around the world like Arknight's Enfield or Wuthering Waves did. We don't know who the publisher is going to be, because from what we've seen, it doesn't look like Manju are going to be self-publishing. They've reached out to multiple different companies. They have Nexon publishing as an example here in Korea. They have Yostar publishing in Japan, and no confirmed publisher for global. We're the very last ones. And I'm a little bit concerned after seeing this information surface, information that we have yet to discuss, anyone is yet to cover. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Azure Promilia is having global issues with Nexon and Manju. That is not a title you want to read when opening up Reddit in the morning. This leads to another Reddit thread. Azure Promilia global confirmed, not published by Nexon. And you know what? That's okay, because admittedly, Nexon is a fine publisher. They're publishing several different games around the world. They have Blue Archive. They have in Korea right now, they are working on Project RX. That's their spin-off of Blue Archive. That actually looks very good. It looks a lot better, like visually and aesthetically, than Blue Archive, and it's tactically the logical next step in terms of game. Kind of like how Arknight's Enfield went that three-dimensional route as opposed to the chibi style that they utilized for Arknights. And Project RX is also seemingly going for that more three-dimensional style rather than the two-dimensional little chibi characters that Blue Archive utilized. Console release likely abandoned by Manju. The source here is Nexon's financial report. That's actually kind of scary. I'm going to go ahead here and open the two links which lead to, I guess, the financial report in question. We actually just covered NetEase's financial report in the Ananta video I did yesterday. And we discussed how they had plans to release a test phase in 2026, how that they had essentially met their schedule, and how things were moving along and progressing relatively smoothly without any hiccups. But that does not seem to be the case for Azure Promilia. On the contrary, it looks like they still have yet to work out a global publisher, even though Azure Promilia is so far ahead in Korea, China, Japan. But also the fact that they're not going to work on console. There's going to be the game. I think the overall success of the game is going to be largely dependent on whether or not it releases on console. Arknight's Enfield released recently, and they confirmed that 60%, like, or at the, I think it was close to 60%, 70% globally of players played Arknight's Enfield on PC and console, which means probably about a third of the player base played it on console. If you cut out a third of your total player base, you are shooting yourself in the foot. This is going to severely inhibit the growth and success of your game. Looking at the financial report, we see Dungeon Fighter. I'm still waiting for Dungeon Fighter Overkill, by the way. We see Maple Story, which continues to be a big success for them. Arc Raiders, Maple Story Idol. We see Blue Archive over here. I think that's also Mabinogi over there. Not entirely sure. There's some games here I don't recognize. Like, I don't know what this little pink-haired thing is, or the finals, what that is. It looks like Hit the World. I guess Overhit, which they actually wanted me to do a sponsored video for that I didn't. There's Maple Story Worlds, more Blue Archive. I see Blue Archive is actually a recurring game here for them. That makes sense. And so I guess what is this for? What does this say in Korean? Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. We can translate that to English, and it says pipeline. At the top right of the screen, you probably can't see this, but I'll go ahead and run it through Google Translate. Detected language should convert from Korean into English. It says pipeline. So these are the games that are in active development, the games that they are working on. Scrolling down, you see Azure Promilia, you see Project DX, you see Project RX, Vindictus Defying Fate. I actually played that. That's a super degenerate game. Wuchi the Wayfarer, Nocwan Last Paradise. Some of these games I actually don't recognize. Azure Promilia here lists PC. It says Project RX actually doesn't have any platforms available, but PC and mobile. So this confirms here, at the very least, the Korean version of the game is not going to be available on console. That's actually alarming. Very, very alarming. Here's more information. Launch date, region, IP. So launch date, undecided. Region, Korea. IP, new genre. Business model, fantasy world, RPG distribution. Okay, so that admittedly didn't really give us much information. It did confirm, though, that Korea is not going to have it available on console, or at the very least, Korea is not going to have it available on console at the beginning. And if it's not available on console at the beginning, that means they're going to have to play catch up. That means that the game is going to be severely inhibited literally at its launch. You're going to be potentially deterring a third of your total players on launch. I guess here is the this is the translated version. Okay, so I guess I didn't even need to run this through the translator. It says launch schedule TBA, so they still have absolutely no idea when they're coming, and that's totally fine. I get it. They are the publisher only, which we also know, but they are not publishing the game on console at all. There's just no mention of console. See here, Project DX has PC console. We have Wuchi has PC console. Nakawan is just PC. Vindictus is PC console, but no. Promilia is just PC and mobile. That's actually really, really concerning news. And I'm guessing here, this is largely due to the fact that they're probably like focusing on Project RX. That's their cash cow right now. It's a game that they not only develop, but they also publish as well. So that is going to probably earn them the most bang for their buck. More proof, Blue Archive, Project MXN's success was really monumental for Nexon, which is, again, true. It makes like tens of millions of dollars a month. This doesn't mean it's not coming out in global, right? No, it just means that we're probably not going to get it at the same time. Or if we do get it at the same time, we're going to have a half-assed translated localized version because other regions all around the world are having their version. They've been in active production and localization for months now. I swear to God, if they do the MMO bullshit where they only release in the East and then release globally a year later, I'm going to be livid. They better not. Another nail in the coffin for PS Pros. Super disappointing. Better be released globally instead of waiting another year. I know. Maybe it's for the better. Sony's better known for being quite heavy-handed with censorship. You're literally killing a third of your potential players. It'll be less censored. Yo, it looks phenomenal on console, dude. So does Zenless. So does Enfield. I mean, come on. Come on. You are... I don't know, man. Look, I love Azure Promilia. We got to see it firsthand at Tokyo Game Show 2025, and we're flown out there. And it looked really good. It looked very polished and very fun. I can't wait to play the beta test for, like, an official global English localized beta test for it. I don't know when it'll happen. I really don't. It is definitely coming out after Silver Palace, after Ananta, after NTE, after all the other big gacha games come out, even though it was released or announced earlier than quite a number of open world gacha games. But this ain't looking good. It really isn't. It's such a fucking beautiful game with incredible looking characters, and Manju has been nothing but good to me. But at the same time, I have to call it as I see it. Global being in the state that it's in, and by the state that it's in, I mean not having a publisher in any capacity right now. They haven't even worked out who we're getting, and a console release potentially abandoned is just not good. That means you're gonna earn a lot less money, which means in theory a lot less content, and that's just not what the game needs. The game needs content. The game needs to succeed, because I really, really wanted to. I love Azure Lane, and again, I love Manju. They've been nothing but good to me, nothing but professional, and I want to keep working with them, and for that to happen, the game needs to succeed. But ultimately, I mean, I guess we'll find out this year with ultimately how global goes, right? You're just hoping for the best either way. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here, and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.